Instead of quarantining, we're going on a bear hunt for my birthday. Got our temps checked. Gangsta style. We're so excited to share our adventure with you.
Here we go.
Our pilot's name was Liz, and she was awesome. We got everyone into the plane, and I got to ride shotgun. Yeah, I was the co-pilot.
The scenery was majestic. We saw snow-capped mountains, glaciers, rugged terrain.
Here we are landing on Lake Clark Air. The water was so beautiful, it was like we were landing in the Bahamas. And this was my first time riding shotgun or co-pilot on a Piper Navajo and landing on a dirt airstrip, which was really interesting. So we're about to land right here, and there were a lot of lights and sounds, and it was a little bumpy landing, but Liz did great. Then at one point she grabbed the dash, and she was actually just turning something off, and my eyes got so big. But it was a great landing, great experience, and we had a great time.
This is us loading up the float planes and getting ready to head out into the bush.
We got all the float planes loaded, and remember, this is the first time any of us have taken off from the water. Oh my word, look at the water, it's so majestic. I didn't know if I wanted to bear hunt or scuba dive.
One of the guides said Lake Clark Air and the farm was one of the nicest facilities he's ever seen. And if you ever go there, be sure to have one of their Fat Belly milkshakes. Notice it's raining while we're coming into land. Our pilot Glenn Jr. did such a smooth landing, we couldn't even tell when the pontoons hit the water. This is where we're going to be staying for the next 10 days, and we're going to be glassing for bear.
Alright, this is camp.
We pulled up to the bank, started unloading our gear. Most of it was in dry bags because of the severe weather, and then started making camp.
As soon as we set up camp, we start glassing for bear.
The next day we were scouting and we couldn't hunt that day, but of course we see a bear on the hill and he had a black mask, so we called him Bandit. We also saw a caribou that was 50 yards away from our tent. That evening we had dinner lakeside and had a beautiful sunset. And then we got hammered, Alaskan style.
We woke up to find our lakeside diner was now out of business. However, we spotted a bear on the mountain, and now we're going after it.
A bear dug this earlier by our camp today.
We got in close, but the bear didn't follow the script and walked the wrong way over the mountain, and we walked back home.
We thought it was going to be a beautiful night, but we got hammered again. Yes, that's me in the red sleeping bag smashed under the tent.
The outfitter's tent got destroyed and he's poking his head through the big hole in the middle of it. So after we pulled the outfitter out of the wreckage, we went out, glassed, and explored the beautiful country, but we didn't see anything that day.
We have been glassing for a really long time. Then the outfitter had an idea to challenge us to roll a rock into the lake below, and we took him up on that idea, and we did it. Watch the shoreline below. You'll see a splash.
By the way, Joe found a caribou shed, and what do you think he did with it?
We hiked, put miles on our boots, didn't see anything, so we went back to camp to relax.
How you like it, Josh? How's the trip going? Can you hear me?
What?
How you doing?
Had better times.
How about you, Joe? How's it going?
It's just a wild day in Alaska.
Another day in paradise, right?
Today we started walking to try to scout on a bear we called Big Boy, but once we got up there he wasn't there, but we still hung out and scouted for a little while longer. But then it started raining, so we just stayed there for another while. And then it finally stopped and we started heading back to camp, and we didn't see any bears that day. And then we had dinner at our favorite lakeside diner in Alaska with the backdrop of a beautiful sunset.
So we spotted a bear a few miles away. We had to circle around him and to get downwind of him and come over the hill. We hiked up to the top of the mountain, and the bear had disappeared into the alders, and we just waited. Then the wind picked up, and then we put on our rain gear and just rode it out.
So we see the bear, and I grab the 300 Win Mag.
I headshot him!
Here, come on.
I don't care.
Dude. He hit the bushes down there.
I just headshot a bear at 30, 40 yards. He rolled all the way to the bottom. Let's go clean him.
Yeah, that was really unbelievable. And yes, it was a long, cold, wet walk to camp. At least I had some time to reflect and rest back at the tent. Not.
Josh, get your mug. After a rough night, we got back up and hit it again. We climbed up mountains, walked over ridge lines, hiked for miles, but it was absolutely beautiful. We were all so focused and diligently scouting. Well, most of us.
We last found caribou sheds, and it was a clear day, and we could see miles and miles and miles. We hiked over this terrain that was really cool. As you can see, it has a lot of rocks, and at times it was like a rock slide. It was really cool. Joe found so many sheds.
Okay, we've broken out the emergency blankets here. Our tent's collapsed. We're propping up one wall with a mattress and a tripod. Water's coming in. There's Joy. Joy's under here. Hey, Joy.
Hi.
She's under an emergency blanket. Quite an adventure. Joe, you doing all right?
Yes, I am.
It blew all night long, and we woke up to find all the tents destroyed, and ours was only held together by some creative engineering. We had a quick lunch of peanut butter and jelly, and then had to go right back into the tent.
It's collapsed on us. We're trying to, and it's just after lunch on the 30th. Take it, Joy. You got him. This is the kind of stuff we're tracking in. It's in under.
Gosh.
Here it is.
Dad, look at these teeth.
Oh.
A bear for my birthday. Are you kidding me? That is epic. The planes pulled up right on time and we started loading up our gear. And then it started raining really hard, and we were all hoping that we'd be able to get out that day because the next couple days had severe weather forecasts, and all our sleeping bags were soaked. We've got 3 float planes that are taking us out.
This is a good picture of how hard it was raining when we left.
But we were able to make it out. This will be a memory of a lifetime.